Hello BookTube, Sarah here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with part 2 of my June 2017 book haul. So these are all the books that I have bought since my last book haul, and you know what? I only have 7 books here, but 2 of them are packages that I get to open. So that's exciting. So let's jump right in. This is probably going to be a shorter, obviously it's going to be a shorter than normal book haul, but let's jump in and get started. So the first book I bought was called Size Matters by Alison Bliss, which, might I add, Alison Bliss is like one of the best contemporary romance author names ever. And this book I saw on Alana Reed's channel, I think it was, and I had it, I'd seen it before, and I had it on my wish list on Amazon, and I decided just to go for it and buy it. It's a typical, what I'm assuming, contemporary romance, but the main character is considered to be plus size. So that's kind of refreshing a bit. I know some books do talk about it, but I'm interested to see how well it's done. And yeah, it's the beginning of a series too, so that should be really good. And the cover is really super cute and fun and summery. The next 2 books are both part of a series. The first one is Read, Write, Love at Seaside by Addison. And the second book is Dreaming at Seaside, of course, also by Addison. This is part of the Sweet with Heat series, and I talked about this series in my July pre-orders, because books, I think 3 and 4 are coming out in July, and essentially these are some of Melissa Foster's, which is, Addison Cole is her pseudonym, Melissa Foster's pseudonym, and she's writing these books, and she's taking the books that she originally wrote, which can be very adult, a lot of swearing, a lot of adult content, and she cleans up the swearing and tones down to almost nothing the adult content. So these are very, very tame contemporary romance novels. The covers are just super adorable. The first book is for they have it for free for Kindle, so please go check that out. That's Read, Write, Love at Seaside, and book number 2 is, you know, at regular price. But definitely check it out if it's something that you might be interested in. I mean, they look like perfect beach reads. I almost want to buy these books in physical format just because they're so adorable looking. The next book I want to talk about is The Harder You Fall by Gena Showalter. This is, I think, book 3 or 4. I can't remember. I'll put it right here. In the Heartbreakers series that she's doing. I just was in the mood to buy a book. I went through my wish list on Amazon and I picked this one. It's a contemporary romance. I haven't read any in this series yet, but I think I now have the first 4 books, so I really need to get started with this series. And the last one was a Kindle Daily Deal. It popped up, and I'm like, oh, yes, please. And it's Dealing with Annie by Jill Shalvis. This is an older book of hers that's been republished now for the Kindle with a different cover. And in this case, I much prefer the redone cover. This book was originally published in 2003, I think, so it's an older book. And it's something about a group of people who are like activists of some kind or something like that, but then the romance aspect comes into it. So yeah, it sounds like it should really be good, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. So that was it for my ebooks. Let's get on now to the boxes. So the first box is sticking kind of with the theme of everything else, excuse me while I grab my scissors, everything that I've already talked about, whereas it is another romance novel. Now, this is actually from, sorry, I'm just using my scissors here to open the box. If you couldn't see, it is from Harlequin. So the Harlequin My Rewards. I mentioned it in one of my last videos that the Harlequin Blaze line is ending. And I'm very sad about that because I love that category. They're spicy, they're fun, and I was really upset that they were going. And I was on the Harlequin website and I noticed this book and I'm like, oh my gosh, and then I realized what it was. So I actually went and I thought, okay, I know with my Harlequin rewards I can get print books, like I can get a free print book, but I didn't know how it worked. Well, a free ebook with your rewards costs you 2,000 points. It's 5,000 for a free physical book, but that's because they include shipping. So I didn't even pay for shipping on this, which is brilliant. Sorry, not sorry for the crinkling. So what this is this is a reprint that they did. It's a collector's edition. It says commemorative edition. It is a reprint of the very first Blaze book that was ever published, and that is Notorious by Vicki Thompson. So I had to get it. I'm not going to probably physically read this. I'm probably going to buy a copy of it for the ebook, but I wanted it for my shelf because, hi, can we just talk about that guy? My husband's just looking at me right now. You look like that too, dear. But yeah, it says a reader favorite story. Like I said, commemorative edition. As a lover of Harlequin, I had to have this. And the fact that it was free, I mean, that's just icing on the cake. You know what I mean? So yeah. So, oh, comes with a, please enjoy this complimentary bookmark. Oh, cool. So it comes with a little bookmark. That's nice. So yeah, so that is my Harlequin book that I got in the mail. And now for something completely different. Literally, you cannot get any more. Well, they both deal with hearts, but it's not necessarily love. So, I'm obviously not showing you guys my address. This I bought from Abe Books. If you guys are unfamiliar with Abe Books, abebooks.com. I'll leave a link to it in the description box below. It's very much like thrift books in a way that it's used books. But it's not that Thrift Books gets them and then they send them out to you. These are all different sellers. It's almost like Amazon Marketplace in a way. And I saw this book. Those of you who have been watching my channel for a while know that I have a congenital heart condition. And I am on a group on Facebook for women with congenital heart disease. And somebody posted a link to this book. And I'm like, I think I need to have that book. So I went on Amazon, and it was $40. And they hardcover, I didn't like the paperback, I have to say. It's $40. I went on Chapters Indigo. It was $40. I went on Book Depository. It was $40. Thrift Books didn't have it. I checked Abe Books, and I found it. And the seller, I think in total with shipping coming from the UK, I think it was like $15. And it says it's used. I did open the box just a wee tiny bit because I didn't know what this was. I've ordered a couple things. So, yeah. So this is called Open Hearts, Stories of the Surgery That Changed Children's Lives by Kate Bull. I had to get this. I think this is going to be a very difficult book for me to read when I do eventually get to it, but I think it's really going to be very interesting. Yeah, so, oh, there's pictures in it. Oh, neat. Oh, wow. So there's pictures in it. I'll show you guys. That's very cool. I'll have to see. What's that? Oh, a heart lung machine used in Toronto between 1951 and, right where my thumb is, and 1956. So I'm just going to read what this is about to you guys, just so you kind of get an idea. Until the 1960s, blue babies were a striking sight in our streets. Suffering from congenital heart disease offered a bleak outlook to young patients and a heartbreaking experience for parents. Very few would make it into adulthood. Now in the West, at least, most have a much higher chance of survival. In Open Hearts, Kate Bull tells not just of the development of heart surgery in children, but of the patients past and present whose lives have been transformed. Besides the technology, the sociology of medicine has changed substantially since the 1950s. Think of the atmosphere of children's wards. Other things have barely changed. Consider the dread of kissing your child goodbye at the door of an operating theater in any era. Children's heart surgery is often seen as a medical triumph, but for all of the successful operations completed, thousands of pioneering patients have gone before, perhaps facing their own uncertain futures. Today we place great hope in the power of science. Many lives have been saved, but sometimes we ask medicine to do more than it can. It says, by turns frightening, heart-wrenching, and inspiring. So, yeah, like I said, probably a pretty hard read for me. But, you know what? I wanted it because this obviously is not a book for everybody. I mean, this is for a very, perhaps, small portion of the population. People who deal with this personally, parents who have children who have CHD, you know. But, yeah, so that's that. Anyway, guys, that is it for my book haul. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As per usual, I will leave links in the description box below where you can find me on social media, as well as links to the Goodreads pages for all the books that I have talked about. And anyway, let me know in the comments below if you guys have read any of these books, what you think about them, if you're interested in reading any of them. And until my next video, guys, take care and happy reading. Bye.